Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and talk about things that are going on, a better explain what's going on, and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Captain Kelly Muniz, Commanding Officer of Media Relations Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. This critical incident community briefing is intended to provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred in Southeast by those shown in the video. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers. Southeast patrol officers were in the 11,400 block of Alvaro Street when they observed a man riding a bicycle who they recognized as a felony warrant suspect wanted for an assault with a deadly weapon. That suspect was identified as Victor Lopez. As the officers approached Lopez to conduct an investigative stop, Lopez got off of his bicycle and ran away. The officers initiated a foot pursuit and chased Lopez through a residential area. While pursuing Lopez, the officers gave him repeated commands to stop running. However, Lopez did not comply and continued running away. During the foot pursuit, Lopez produced a handgun and fired, resulting in an officer-involved shooting. Lopez was struck by gunfire, scaled a nearby fence, and continued to run away. The officers lost sight of Lopez, requested the assistance of additional officers, and established a perimeter in the immediate area. Notifications were made to Metropolitan Division K-9, who responded shortly thereafter and assisted Southeast officers in formulating a plan to resolve this situation. K-9 officers conducted a search of the area and discovered that Lopez had barricaded himself in a nearby business. Since Lopez was barricaded and refusing to come out of the business, notifications were then made to Metropolitan Division, Special Weapons and Tactics, also known as SWAT. SWAT personnel, with the assistance from the Crisis Negotiation Team, attempted to communicate with Lopez for several hours, working to de-escalate the situation. However, Lopez refused to comply. SWAT officers then introduced chemical agents into the business, resulting in Lopez surrendering without further incident. A portion of this incident was captured on the officer's body-worn video. Body-worn video cameras are used by most officers assigned to field duties. They are worn at chest level.
I don't know if you caught that, but let me back this up. Notice these poles right here. These are clothesline poles, so you can't see the wire very well going across here, but he just ran into a fucking clothesline. There are some places that still use clotheslines. It's going to be your very low-income, impoverished areas. They don't have dryers, or if they do, they just don't run them because they can't afford the electricity, or their fucking electricity shut off. I don't know, but there's still places that have clotheslines, even in urban areas like this. I've never ran into a clothesline before. I've run into a guide wire for like a pole, like an electric pole with a light on it, and those wires that come off diagonally or whatever. I've ran into one of those motherfuckers. That shit fucking hurts. But I've never ran into a clothesline before. I can only imagine how much it sucks. Back in high school, some classmates of mine, I can't remember what the hell it is they were doing, but obviously they were doing something that probably wasn't good because they were running at night, and they were running, and they had all ran into a clothesline. And of course, they were of varying height. So one had a fucking mark across his neck, one had a mark kind of like across the mid of his face, and another had like a mark, I think, around his forehead. So you could have them stand next to each other and see that line match up on them, which was kind of funny. But when you think about when you're running, at a fast speed and you come across a line like that, yeah, that's going to, depending on how you hit that, how high it is, that's going to fucking hurt like hell. So you need to be aware of the area that you're going to be working in and whether or not there are clotheslines within that area. Or else, if you find yourself running at night, you could run into an invisible wire.
Hey, stop!
Hey,
stop! Stop right there! Stop right there! Stop right there! Stop! Hey, stop! Stop right there! Stop right there!
Oh, shit.
Hey!
Called him a bitch. So what did he fall on?
There!
Looks like rock just sticking up out of the ground.
Stop right there!
Maybe a tree stump or something.
Hey, partner, he's shot at. Go on this side. Go on this side. Go on this side. He shot at me, bro.
I need top city top 115th unknown cross, top city top 115th unknown cross.
Stop!
Shots fired in the area and
Make sure he
determined
doesn't come out this
frequency.
side. I got this side, bro.
Reach the location, Jesus success. RTO, stay clear, let them come up. Top city top 115th and success, off city top 115th and success, shots fired in the area and correction, area 18 and round. It's 3, we got the suspect. He's barricaded down behind an Xbox. We're gonna be in a project.
Make sure he doesn't come out there, bro. Hey, he's over there. He's running towards Imperial. That's him.
3 has a suspect barricaded in the project. Suspect running southbound towards Imperial. Nose bag. We're all black. Bag.
That's him.
3 has a suspect barricaded in the project. Suspect running southbound towards Imperial. The suspect barricaded.
Alright, so pay attention to this corner right here where his weapon light's at. Watch how much light's reflecting back while he's back away from the cover.
In the project.
And then watch how it disappears when it
Suspect
gets
running
closer.
southbound towards Imperial.
So typically, it's recommended that you do not crowd your cover. But that's really during the day, because you could be more visible when you're closer up on your cover. At night, it could be better if you do go closer and crowd your cover, because you have a light, and that light shining or reflecting off of your cover can help silhouette you and or cause some visual problems for you depending on how much light's reflecting off of it. So the further back you are from your cover at night, more light reflects back at you. The closer you are and you get that gun past that cover, the less light there is reflecting back at you. So it can make you a little bit harder to be quote-unquote seen, even though you're broadcasting a light from your location. At least it's not silhouetting you like it could be if you were back away from the cover and the light was reflecting off cover onto you, making you a little bit more visible.
Nose bag. We're all black.
need help. We're going to be the Dicks. 115 shots fired. Did you hit him? Go on this side. Go on this side. Go on this side. You shot on me, bro. Stop! It's 8-3, we got the suspect. He's barricaded down behind a Codex box. We're going to be in the projects. Hey, he jumped the fence! In the projects.
So check out how weak his weapon light is. I'm going to say that probably his batteries are dead. Or near being dead. And that's why his light is not very powerful. If you remember the light coming out of his partner's gun, that was bright. Super bright. This one, not so much. So you have to think about batteries the same way you do magazines for a gun. You only have, quote unquote, so many rounds in the battery before it goes empty. Right? And so when you click the light on, think of that as pulling the trigger on a gun. Every time you click that light, click, 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 click. That's like pulling the trigger on a gun. Bang, 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 bang. That depletes the ammunition from your magazine. So at some point, you're going to need to do a magazine change, right? You're going to need to change batteries in your light. Now, with a gun, we know that when we fire a few rounds, we're going to be changing that magazine right then and there. No questions asked. When it comes to lights, if we put brand new fresh batteries out of the package into a light, and then an hour later we turn that light on and it stays on for 10 minutes, we do not change out those batteries on that light. We continue going. These weapon lights should have, they have varying run times, but they should last a pretty good amount of time, about an hour or so. The problem with it, though, is there's no good way to keep track of the time that this light has been turned on. No one's going to be keeping track of, well, I turned the light on today and it was on for about 2 minutes. And then 2 days later, it was on for about 5 minutes. Then a few more days later, it's on for 10 minutes. And then etc. No one's going to keep track of all that shit and calculate up how many minutes that those batteries have on it and then be like, all right, I'm up to the 30-minute mark. I should probably change batteries. Nobody fucking does that. So what you should be doing is coming up with your own rotation schedule. And this is going to depend on your workload and how often you are using your weapon-mounted light. In some places, it may be something that you're going to be switching batteries out once every week or 2 weeks. Other places, it could be that you'd only have to switch them out once a month. It really depends on where you're at and how much work you're doing. But you need to come up with a rotation on switching out your batteries. If you end up, going a long duration one night without the light being on, you probably want to go ahead and switch them out that same night. If you run a light for, a good solid 10, 20 minutes or something like that, go ahead and switch those things out. You don't want to be caught with batteries that die suddenly within, the first 10 minutes. Because then you're going to have to go to a backup light. And when you have to go to a backup light, that then means you're going to be holding that gun one-handed. And when you hold a handgun one-handed, you are essentially slashing your accuracy capability in half because you only have 2 points of contact with that gun. Your dominant hand and your support hand. And when your support hand is holding a flashlight, guess what? One hand's on the gun. That's it. I know the CR-123s can be super expensive. The most economical thing to do with those is buy them in bulk. I have a Batteries Plus here in town that I go to, and I just buy a sleeve of the CR-123s. I forget how much they are. They're not cheap, but I just get the whole sleeve of them, and I just do it that way instead of trying to buy them, 2 at a time. If you try and buy them 2 at a time, that's going to be a whole lot more than if you buy the whole sleeve of them. So, yeah, that whole sleeve of them, you might look at that price and be like, holy shit. But if you add it up when you buy them only by the pair here and there and get to the same amount, you will be paying more when you buy them in those smaller increments. There are rechargeable batteries. I don't do much with those. I don't have any rechargeable batteries. I just stick with the tried and true CR-123s. They're disposable. I just keep a stock of them. I mean, I got some here in the house. I got some out in the car. It's just a cost that I have to, I guess you could say, budget for or just account for. Now, there's some places where they're provided, and if you're at a place where they're given to you, hey, you're fucking lucky. Not many places will just give a unlimited supply of batteries, or especially CR-123s, to their people. So you got something going on if you got free access to those. I've actually thought back when meth labs were a lot more prevalent around here. I never did do it, but I always thought I should ask the meth heads where they get the good deals at on the lithium batteries, since they're always having to use lithium for their fucking meth labs.
Hey, he jumped the fence. No, I don't know if that was him. That's him running? 883. Suspects running southbound towards Imperial. Male Hispanic, wearing all black.
A portion of this incident was also captured on video from a nearby security camera.
I think his pants just fell down. I'll play that again. It fucking did. Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. Stupid fuck. That's why you should invest in a belt. I've never understood that. Like, these stupid fucking street thugs, man. You would think that by now they would have figured out, well, shit, bruh, I ought to get a belt, dog. Because it limits my ability to run when my pants are fucking falling down. So let's talk about security fences. This is essentially a fucking ladder, the way this is designed. Like, anyone can scale this damn thing. Look at his fucking pants. You know what would have been great? Would have been great if he would have gotten caught on the top of that fence and fucking hung upside down. He said to fuck with his pants. Fucking. Hey, they weren't his pants anyway. They were his buddies. These ain't my pants. They're my friends. I found them. I'm just wearing them.
You got knives. Hurry up! Come on! Alright, come on. You can't come out. He's yelling, the thing's coming out. We got you. He does it, we're going to put more gas in there. Get ready with more clear gas. He said okay. Hey, Layla. Doors open. Layla, come on. Hey, make sure everybody has cuffs. You're talking to him. Yep. You got cuffs? Yep. I'll talk to him. Yeah, just keep directing them. Okay. Go on, come on out. Come on out with your hands up. Come out. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Okay, stop. Stop. Turn around. Walk backwards. Walk backwards. Walk to my voice. Keep walking. Keep walking. He's got blood on him. Yeah. Keep walking. Keep coming. We can help you out. Okay. Put your hands on your head and walk backwards. Walk backwards. You're fine. You're fine. Walk backwards. Keep coming. Hands on your head. Hands on your head. Turn around. You got it. Words. Walk backwards. You're fine. You're fine. Walk backwards. Keep coming. You're fine. You're fine. Walk backwards. Walk backwards. You're fine. You're fine. Walk back.
Oh, that's fucking great. I love that. Tear gas fucking sucks, man. Like, it will make you develop all this fucking mucus coming out of your mouth, and it's just this is a good illustration of fuck around and find out. Let's see that again.
Walk backwards. You're fine. You're fine. Walk backwards. Keep coming. Hands on your head. Hands on your head. Turn around. We got it. We got it. Move up.
Hey, you're good. What?
Okay, where are you hurt at? Where are you hurt at? Where are you hurt? Where are you hurt? I don't know. Alright, he's taking out.
Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics transported Lopez to a local hospital where he was treated for the non-life-threatening gunshot wound he sustained during the incident. He was cleared for booking and was subsequently arrested for attempted murder of a police officer. Investigators recovered Lopez's semi-automatic pistol as well as a loaded magazine at scene and booked it as evidence.
Well, you mean he doesn't have a ghost gun? How surprising. Back this up a little bit more. But he does have cheap-ass ammunition in this gun. Now, does this cheap-ass ammunition mean that's not good? No, it doesn't. It just means that this is cheap-ass ammunition, and it's not as reliable as better ammunition. So, I'd say that I wish they would show or talk about these guns and whether or not they're stolen or not. A lot of these bad guys will get a hold of these guns by stealing them, or they buy them from people who have stolen them. And so when you see a Glock, right, and then you see the Wolf ammo, now or this could be Tula ammo, either one, steel cased. Just the steel cased ammunition alone it doesn't mean much. I have steel cased ammo out in my training box right now. Of course, I don't run steel ammo through my gun for carry purposes. But the fact that this is a nicer pistol, it's not some cheap-ass pistol, kind of tells me that he probably stole the gun, probably fired the rounds that were in it, and then came across the cheap Wolf / maybe Tula ammo, whatever, and put that in the gun because he's too cheap to go buy good stuff.
Automatic pistol as well.
It almost looks like the slide is, you see the blackness right there within the serrations? It's almost like this damn thing's been polished down.
As a loaded magazine at scene and booked it as evidence. Investigators also recovered a backpack Lopez was carrying that contained burglary tools.
Burglary tools. Oh, hold on.
Investigators also recovered a backpack.
Yeah, so he was, he of course was riding around his bicycle looking for shit to steal. It's not very common to see people with bolt cutters. It's more common to see them with little stuff, you know, like screwdrivers and shit like that. Now, unless they know what they're going to requires it, then they'll bring it. So some of them do it smart. They go recon. They'll go drive by and look at shit, look around, see if there's security cameras, stuff like that. See what kind of security features are there and what they need to bring back the next time, and then they'll bring that stuff. So that could be what this guy had done. He could have rode by a place, scouted it out, said, hey, I'm going to need bolt cutters to get through this gate, blah, blah, blah. And he could have been on his way to do a hit on some place to steal some shit. And they just happened to come across him as he's on his way there. He could have been carrying this stuff around at all times, just in case he came across an opportunity to be able to use it and steal some stuff. But I'd say that probably he was going to a particular place. This looks like stuff he would use the climb with, potentially. I'm not 100% sure what all this is, but it looks like he could use this for scaling, climbing stuff. The one handcuff is interesting. I don't know what's up with that. It's kind of weird. This right here, I'm not 100% sure what this is, but this looks like a reverse peephole viewer. So a peephole in a door, the way it works is the glass within it, it's curved in such a way or made in such a way that you can look out and see stuff, but someone outside trying to look in, they're not going to see anything. It's going to be all skewed. But the little reverse viewer, when you put it up against that peephole, the glass in it is made in such a way to where it makes you able to view through that peephole and see what's on the inside. That's what I think this is, but I'm not 100% sure. So this guy could have, on top of, hitting like lots and stuff, could have been going to the hotels and using this to see inside a room, and then using his kit here to break into a hotel room and steal shit out of it.
Lopez was carrying that contained burglary tools. On September 26, 2022, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office filed the following charges against Lopez: 1 count of attempt murder of a police officer, 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon using a semi-automatic firearm, and 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm. Victor Lopez is a 37-year-old resident of Los Angeles. In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. We will continue interviewing felon in possession of a firearm. Victor Lopez is a 37-year-old resident.
So being 37-year-old, he's already a felon, so that obviously means that he's been involved with the criminal justice system before this. I would not be surprised to find out if he's been involved in the criminal justice system multiple times throughout his life. Unfortunately, there are just some people out there who are habitual offenders. They spend all their life committing crimes. They live that lifestyle. Now, when I first saw this booking photo, I thought he was in a restraint chair, because he's obviously in a seated position, and I saw this in the background. But now that I think about it, it's probably a wheelchair or something like that, because he did get shot and had to go to the hospital. So that's probably what that is. But given how stupid he is and everything, I would not doubt that he will end up in a restraint chair. And this could be a restraint chair, but typically restraint chairs have little straps that go across the front of the chest to keep them locked down into it. So it could be a restraint chair, it could be a wheelchair, but either way, I'm sure he's been in one before. especially if you do stupid shit like this. That's about it. So if you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.